Hi everyone, it's Mari. I'm back again today for Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine, working with the April sampler. This gorgeous sampler is right full of amazing goodies, and I just want to start off here by showing you what I received in my sampler this month. So from American Crafts, I received a bunch of the Paige Evans Wonders collection, and I also received some Fern and Willard collection bits from Photo Play Paper, and also this amazing stamp set from Gina K called Springy Flowers, this exclusive stamp set that you can only get in the sampler. And then also of course, the SCT exclusive word Smile, which is the theme of this sampler this month. And here you can just see, I'm going to start off working with the Springy Flowers exclusive stamp set from Gina K. So many really fun little sentiments that are part of this stamp set. And then of course, the stems and little florals that you can layer. I really loved working with this little stamp set. So cool. So I'm going to start off here working with these pattern papers from my sampler and a piece of Gina K Ocean Mist cardstock that I have cut to an A2 size card size. I'm also working with a white card panel front and a We Are Memory Keepers punch from my stash. So I'm going to start off here by stamping out some of the images from the stamp set, but also I wanted to get my paper cut first. So I'm going to cut those two papers into two strips. These are cut at 2 inches by 5 1/4, and I have kind of measured off. You can see that little pencil mark in the center of my A2 size card base there. I wanted to just measure and put a little pencil mark there where the center is, just to make sure that I have the edge of each of these 2-inch strips lined up perfectly in the center. It just makes it a little bit easier to make sure the margin on the cardstock is a little bit more symmetrical all the way around the edge of my card. Now I'm also taking a strip of Gina K blue denim cardstock. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to line that up and put it down the seam of where those two pattern papers are meeting up. And this is going to be my card front for my card. Now I also wanted to take this piece of white cardstock and make a little tag for the front of my card, and that's what I'm going to stamp on. So I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers punch here. And I'm going to punch out a scallop edge on what will be my tag for my card. So I'm just starting off in the center of my tag piece here, and then I'll just go ahead and move my punch to each of the sides to get that all die cut out, or all cut out with that punch, I should say. And that is just going to leave a really pretty, delicate, nice little edging for my tag that I'm going to be using for the focal point for the front of my card. I'm just using my trimmer here to trim down the tag, and the tag when it's all cut is going to be 2.5 by 4.25. So that is the entire size of the tag when it's all finished. So if you wanted to duplicate this process, those are the measurements that I used for creating my tag. Now I'm just going to finish trimming this down, and then I'll put this into my mini MISTI and I'll get ready to stamp out those images. So I'm going to start off by stamping the stems. One is a little bit longer than the other. And you'll notice that the overlays, the pieces, the stamps that are meant to be layered over top of the stems vary in size as well. So I use that larger one on the longer stem and the smaller bloom on the shorter stem. And I'm using some Gina K ink here to stamp out my stems. I think this is Lucky Clover. I do really love the Gina K inks as well. And I am going to use some of those inks to stamp out my images. So there I have my 2 stems, and I'm going to stamp out that layering bloom over top of that first stem there. I'm going to go ahead and stamp out that one on the left first. That's the smaller, or the shorter of the 2 blooms, I should say. And I'm going to grab more of the Gina K ink. This time I'm using Ocean Mist, which is the same color as my card base. And so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that out. I chose colors that were complementary to the colors that were in the pattern paper. So the floral pattern paper has all of these different colors, yellow and blue and so on. And so I just wanted to, and green as well as one of those florals there as well. So now this one I'm going to lay over top of that green stem with some yellow ink from Gina K again. And I'm just going to, I think this is Wild Dandelion. Just going to check that. Yep, that's Wild Dandelion. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer that over top of that Lucky Clover stem and I'm going to also stamp out the sentiment. So there's a bunch of different, I think there's 5 sentiments with this stamp set. It's really great. And I'm just going to take some really nice VersaFine Claire, nice crisp black ink and stamp out the happy birthday sentiment just below those blooms. And that's going to finish off my tag. I'm going to take a corner rounder and round the corners on the top of the tag. And I also add some twine and some machine stitching to the tag as well to finish it off. And you'll see that here in just a second. So I just used a little bit of this Lawn Fawn twine in a color that was complementary to the colors in the project. And then you can just see I did a little bit of kind of messy, wonky stitching on the bottom of the tag there as well to add a little bit more texture. And I'm going to pop that tag up on some foam adhesive on my card front. Before I do that though, I wanted to add some blue denim splatters. So I'm just going to put some of that blue denim down on my mat here. So I'm working on a Nouveau media mat on my desk. So this is just, it's not just my desktop. I'm watering that down and I'm going to just splatter that onto my little tag. And that's just going to bring out that dark blue, which I used for that strip down the center of my card. So that dark blue strip is blue denim and this ink is blue denim and it all just coordinates nicely. I love that when you have the inks and cardstock that all coordinate together. It is very nice. So I'm going to just go ahead and add this foam adhesive to the back of the tag here. So you'll just see me tearing that off and I'm just going to finish this up. And this is just some foam adhesive for my stash. You can just use whatever you have. And I am going to take the release paper off the back of that and stick that onto my card front. And that is going to finish off this sweet little card. So super fun. Lots of really cool things in the sampler that you can use to create cards. Really fun, really easy. And with that stamp set, you can create all kinds of different types of cards with all of the sentiments that are included in that Springy Flowers exclusive stamp set from Gina K. Now for my second project, I'm going to work on an 8x6 mini album page. I am taking one of the photo play papers from Fern and Willard. This is so fun and it's perfect for well, I thought it was really great for this picture of a small child. This is my little great niece. So she is 2 in this picture. And I just thought this, the theme of this paper is perfect for her and her age. I love it. It's so sweet and whimsical. And so I'm going to just go ahead and adhere that 6x6 paper to my 8x6 pink cardstock. I'm going to take my circle punch and cut out that one die cut piece. This is from the cut apart sheet that was in my sampler. And this little circle is perfect for using a circle punch on. So I'm going to use that as an embellishment just to the right of my photo. Now I'm also going to take that cut apart sheet and cut out the little banner that's on there. It says sunshine and happiness. I'm just going to fussy cut around the edge of that, leaving a tiny little white border. And you can just see the ends of that are banner ends or flag ends, whatever you want to call it, fishtail ends. And I'm just going to trim those out with my Cutter Bee scissors, and that will be another embellishment. So that cut apart sheet's really great because you get tons of bits that you could use for title pieces or little embellishments on your projects, your cards, your scrapbook pages, whatever it is that you're making, mini books, and they're all just so great. All these little bits of detail that are perfect for adding these sort of touches to your projects. So I knew that I wanted to add that onto my design somewhere. At this point, I wasn't exactly sure, so I'm just going to leave it on my table, and I'm also going to fussy cut out this really sweet little frog that's part of the cut apart sheet as well. This goes perfectly with that little 6x6 pattern paper, and it's just so cute. I love it. It's adorable. So I will just fussy cut that again, leaving a tiny little white border all the way around the edge of my little frog, and I am going to pop him up on some adhesive as an embellishment on my project. Now I am going to cut 2 strips from this dot paper, and I'm going to use these as little strips above and below my 6x6 paper, and I'm also going to run that through my sewing machine. So I don't know if it really shows up that well on camera, but once I have those adhered down, I did take that to my sewing machine and I just stitched along the edge of the dotted paper to add a little bit of texture and finishing detail on that patterned paper. Now I also wanted to add this dark blue paper to my photo mat area, as well as that journaling card from the Wonders collection. So the blue mat is going to be cut to 4 inches by 4.5, and I'm going to, like I said, use that in behind my photo. In between the photo and the blue paper, I have that journaling card from Wonders, and I am going to adhere the photo to the journaling card, and then I'm going to pop those pieces up on some foam adhesive just to give them some dimension off of that dark blue mat behind them. And I really love that little journaling card is perfect because there's just enough space there for my niece to do some journaling on this layout for her little girl. And I will leave that blank for her to do that, and she can just add whatever she wants into that space. So there you can just see here, I'm going to add this to that area. I will take a little sentiment sticker from my stash and add that to the little tab on the top of that journaling piece, and you'll see that at the very end of the video. I will show you that. I wanted to pop up this circle piece on some foam adhesive as well to give that a little bit of dimension also. The nice thing about the thinner foam adhesive is it's not too bulky. It's not going to be too bulky at all for my project, which I like. It's going to give just enough dimension without it being too thick. And I also wanted to add a little bit of dimension to the little frog. I think here you can just see a little bit of that machine stitching detail. Maybe you can see where the threads are still loose there on the edges of where I added the stitching. The pink cardstock that I used for my base here is Basil Tutu Pink. And so if you were wanting to use a cardstock color that is the same, that is what I used for my 8x6 my layout base for the project. So I decided to leave the banner, put the banner up in that area above the circle. I thought that was a perfect spot for it. And there's still plenty of room for journaling up in that area as well. So now this part of my sampler projects today is almost finished. My little 8x6 layout is almost complete. Really like how it turned out. I think it's super cute, and it is all ready to pop into an album. And once the journaling is on it, it will be all finished and ready to go. So super cute. And here's the 2 projects so far that we've created with our sampler. Remember that sampler, if you subscribe, it is can be as low as $14 a month shipped. So it is a really incredible value. Now I'm going to start working here on a 12x12 layout, and I'm going to take this paper here and I'm going to fussy cut out all of these strips and use them for a base, a layering base for my photograph that I'm going to be using today. So you'll just see me here. I'm just going to leave a tiny little white outline or edge around these little scallop pieces. This piece is just so perfect for fussy cutting. There's a lot of different things you could do with these strips, and I will show you what I do with this for my project. But yeah, there's many different ways that you could use this. So I'm just going to finish fussy cutting this out, and I did fussy cut absolutely every strip on that paper, and I will tuck those back into my sampler for the ones that I don't use and use them on projects in the future. So there you can just see I've added those to the bottom portion of my 12x12 paper. I've added some machine stitching to the top layer, and here you can just see I have fussy cut out the floral paper and the butterfly paper that was in my sampler as well. And I've also got another couple pieces of paper that I'm going to be using on my layout. So this 6x6 paper, the dark blue from Wonders, I am going to use that as the base for my photo mat, and I'm also going to use this 4x6 card as a mat as well. I'm going to trim each of those papers out a little bit, and I will give you the dimensions of those papers when I get to trimming those out. But I just really liked leaving that green, open green space to the right of my photo to leave a little journaling space there as well. I just felt like that was super logical. So here you can just see I'm using my pencil to help me decide what the size is going to be for those photo mat layers. And the dark blue is now cut to 6 by 4.5, and the green is cut to 5.5 by 4. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a larger border at the top than at the bottom because I'm going to do some title work in that area. And here you can just see I'm just going to stick these 2 pieces together, and I will pop the photo up on some foam adhesive to give it some dimension over top of these 2 flat photo layers. and that will just look really nice and dimensional when it's all adhered and finished up here. So here you can just see I'm again taking my my foam tape and adding that to the back of my photo. That's all ready to go now. I will just go ahead and put that on. And again, leaving that area to the right of the photograph for some journaling, which I think is a really great spot for that. Now, this sweet little great niece of mine is looking down at a little bunny Easter cake that her mom made for Easter. I love this photo. I think it's so adorable. And I have taken it through Lightroom to adjust the lighting on it to make it just really nice and light and soft. And I really love that. I think it is just the most gorgeous photo and really perfect and sweet for this collection, Wonders, and I love how this layout comes out. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down, and now I'm using the embellishments from Wonders and the other fussy cut pieces to help me embellish the rest of the page. I am going to use the exclusive word smile as the title at the top, and there you can just see I'm using that mandala that has the lines on it in that area to the top and right of the photo, or I should say left of the photo. And I'm using the butterfly pieces and some of the other little florals as embellishments at the bottom right corner of the photo mat area. I also wanted to use this Here Now die cut piece, but I felt like it needed something over in that area to ground it that's a different color. So you'll see what I do there, but that other die cut piece is just a little bit too large for this project. So I just set that aside and I'll use that on a different project. So now I'm actually going to take one of the really beautiful pink pattern papers here from Wonders. I've cut that out with a circle punch, and I think that's a 2-inch punch. And I am going to use that circle as a little area to layer on top of for that Here Now die cut piece. It just breaks up the green on green a little bit, and I like the repetition of that circle shape, which is similar to the mandala that's in the upper left area there. And now you can just see I added that really fun dimensional fan piece. I'm going to add that to the center of my mandala. I'm using lots of foam adhesive to pop things up when I'm sticking them down to give the layout a little bit more dimension in that way. And again, here you can just see I'm adding that foam adhesive to the back of the mandala, and I will just leave the floral pieces flat on either side of the mandala. And there you can just see I'm adding that fan piece to the center, and I love that. I think that is so pretty. Really gorgeous. And of course, the little butterflies will be fluttering around the project as well. Now I am going to add some Nouveau Glaze to the back of my acrylic piece here. I do find that adhesive is really great for adhering down pieces like this that do have that synthetic finish on them. So I'm going to add that to the back of the smile piece and add it above my photograph. And I love how this is looking. It's such a beautiful collection. Paige's collection is so pretty, and it's just really great for this photo and what I wanted to accomplish here with this layout. Now I have sized down my white paper to 11.5 by 11.5. I've sewn around the perimeter of the white paper, and I have adhered it down to some Doodlebug pink cardstock, and I've added 2 of those puffy heart stickers that I got in my sampler to a couple of different areas on the project as well. And now to finish off, I'm adding some splatters of some Gina K ink. This is Ocean Mist, and I'm also going to use a little bit of Heidi Swapp Color Shine splatters on my project to completely finish it up. And then this project is going to be finished too. And so these 3 different projects came together super fast. I have a ton of stuff left over. I have so much paper and lots of the stickers and different bits left for other projects. The great thing about getting a stamp set too is that's a gift that just keeps giving. You can just keep making cards time after time. So it's always fun when you get a stamp set in the sampler as well. These are my 3 projects, friends. I hope you enjoyed this today. I had so much fun working with the sampler, as I always do, and it's one of my favorite projects to work on every month when I get to create this video for Scrapbook on Cards Today and dive into my sampler and just see what I can come up with to make with all of these beautiful products that are in the sampler. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. Make sure you check the links in the description box below and check out some more of the videos here on Scrapbook and Cards Today YouTube channel. Make sure you've subscribed and like this video. Make sure you leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Have an amazing day, friends. Bye-bye.